in a way that's very simple, like right now, noticing the life in the hands, receiving the life that is the hands. Receiving the life that is the face. Awake to any thoughts that occur. And we can anchor ourselves in the present moment by inhabiting, embracing, accepting the truth of incarnation as the body breathes in and out. It seems as though there is such a thing as a breath, that a breath exists. Is it true? Or is a breath truly anicca? We could say, well, there's been a lot of them. They come and go. But it's more complete or utter than that. We can notice that there is a time of no breath, when the body is just at rest. And then there comes an impulse to breathe in. People who study such things say it's the buildup of carbon dioxide that sets off the impulse to breathe. And then breathing in begins. And then it's gone. And then there's the process of inhaling and the chest and abdomen rise. And then they come to fullness. And where is breathing in? Where's the start of this breath? It's long gone. And then there's breathing out for a while, for a short time or a long time or outside of time somehow, in that the middle, the apex, the fullness moment of the breath is long gone by the time the breath ends. And then there's quiet again. And we become students, devotees of the impermanence in this breath. Or perhaps the mind becomes enthralled with some trance or another. One can become all caught up in some dream, some fantasy, one of the 5 hindrances. And then it's gone. Completely, utterly gone. The truth of anicca shining through, moment by moment. It's common to fall into the trances of the past and future. It's no wonder at least some people are so interested in time travel. We do it all the time. We imagine the past and we inhabit it. We imagine the future and we worry about it. We fall into the trance of desire and wanting and craving and of disliking and resisting. We fall into the trance of restlessness, agitation, worry, or sloth and torpor, dullness, sleepiness. Or we fall into the trance of doubt. Why am I even doing this? How could this possibly help the fact that my life is falling apart in this way or that way, or this person has betrayed me, or. Maybe it's I'll always be alone, or I can't wait to get out of here. Awakening to all of these phenomena of the world. Awakening to set ourselves free. remarkably, awareness, mindfulness, presence, that which knows, seems to be either on or off. And as a practice, we can watch the oscillation between being lost in the dream and being awake. That amazing human being, the Buddha, who was just like us, an ordinary human, discovered that this quality of being awake, of paying attention, of being mindful, actually is the royal road to reducing suffering, to becoming more loving, more compassionate. Hearing. There are no distractions in life. This room, it's possible to turn whatever arises into a worthy object of observation. A crow welcomes the morning. A dog comes in and wants a little acknowledgement. A memory of last night comes in. Comes in where? Comes into consciousness. And right here, at the center of it all, there is awakeness. Sometimes, maybe often, there are secondary objects of observation which become rather predominant. Perhaps there's pain in the body. One strategy with pain is to distract, to stay busy doing something else. Try not to notice it. Watch TV, get engaged in the phone, or in meditation. Really emphasize the primary object. Focus on the breath so fully that you become absorbed in it, and then the pain ceases to exist subjectively. And this can be true with physical pain, emotional pain, existential pain. It's a very effective and useful strategy. Attend somewhere else. And then there are those pains which are chronic or severe. The pains for which we have medications sometimes. Or the pains which are just a nagging, an emotional nagging at the heart. In these instances, we quite intentionally turn and do something totally counterintuitive. We take this capacity of concentration and mindfulness and awareness and fully embrace the sensations of pain. We put aside the breath. We turn 150% toward these are the sensations of pain. We turn toward the unpleasantness of pain. And it's not that we're trying to think our way out of it or think our way through it. In fact, we observe any thoughts as part of the phenomenon. We surrender to pain. Perhaps that's not a good word. We allow pain to be the discomfort that it is. We observe the disliking of it, the fear of it, the hatred of it. We acknowledge that this pain is part of the human condition and that there are most probably tens of thousands of others with the same pain right now. And this can be done with small pains and big pains. It's particularly useful with big pains. And sometimes this turning toward a pain will result in it diminishing. Sometimes it will seem to increase. And in addition to observing the pain and the suffering of the pain, we can also observe the wanting for it to be different. This is the second noble truth. The wanting for more pleasure and less pain, or to become something that isn't in pain. We become intimate with that as well. And sometimes the demand for it to be different vanishes. And we're given a taste of the true freedom, of nirvana, of the quenching, the relinquishing, the putting out of the fire of wanting something to be different. Great relief. Great relief with small things, greater relief with bigger things. Resting back into the present moment. Sometimes losing consciousness, falling into some deep restful state, noticing the return from that. Don't fight it. Don't fight anything. Come home to now. The now where there is breathing in and breathing out. The now where there is the life in the buttocks where they press into the chair. The now where there is life in the hands. The now where there is life in the face, the cheeks, the lips, the upper lips. The forehead, and the eyes. Acknowledge the reality of the eyes as physical phenomena. You can roll your eyes around inside your beautifully lubricated sockets, or their beautifully lubricated sockets. They can go clockwise, they can go counterclockwise. There's a lot of little muscles required for this to happen. And now let us bring awareness to the eyes, to the whole body sitting. And then let us carry out the ritual of consciously, intentionally noticing the intention, the plan to let the eyes open, and then let them open. Notice the mysterious thing that happens. Seeing begins. seeing and perhaps recognition. Oops. I think I know why.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah.
In fact, I've got you twice.
Uh-oh.
Say something again.
Hello. Testing.
I don't get it. I don't get it, but I can live with it, I think.
Oh,
Well, anybody have anything? Oh, we have an announcement or two. What do we have? We have the first Sun, not the first Sunday. We have the first Saturday of the month retreat with Candle Summers coming up. We have a picnic coming up on the 14th or so. So what's happening in your lives? I am going to bow out at 8 and Jim will finish up. I need to be at the center to greet the people coming. Something's actually happening. I'm greeting the people who will measure for the blinds, the new blinds in the living room. Oh, and I managed to get the contract, the contract with the city. See this little sticker? That's what all the big hassle was about. The contract between the city of Portland and the Portland Insight Meditation Community, saying we will complete stage 2 of the seismic upgrade within 7 years. So that's now moved on to the next person. It turned out the problem, are you ready for this? I had overpaid by $5. Did you have snakes and ladders when you were a kid? They also have chutes and ladders, but we had snakes and ladders. And you'd land on a square, and then it would have a ladder that would take you up 3 levels, very quick, and then you land on a snake, and it would take you down. And it's kind of hard on snakes, isn't it? It's not a very nice game that way. But there were 100 squares, I think, and on square 99 there was a snake that took you back to 3. We've been meeting a few of those snakes. So, friends, what's happening, if anything you'd like to share?
Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Sangha.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. I just wanted to share. It's great to see everybody. It's been an interesting month, and I haven't been able to join as much as I usually do. So I miss seeing you all. And I also want to share that there's a Seattle Sangha that Robert comes up. Well, I'll explain it. That I was originally introduced to meditation through this Sangha, and it was a group of people that knew of Robert, and I used to meet regularly. They have met regularly for years, and I hadn't met for a while, and then COVID happened. So anyway, we had our first post-COVID in-person Sangha
Oh,
at
boy.
my house about 2 weeks ago, and it was quite lovely. It was just 4 of us, but my daughter joined us, and in the backyard. So it was very special. It was wonderful to see everybody, and they were excited to get started. And yeah, and so now that we're going to start meeting regularly. But yeah, I just wanted to reminded me of the beginnings, and I was very grateful. And that actually partly got initiated because I was sharing on here about my daughter, and Larry, who's in that Sangha, reached out and said, "Hey, would you like to get the Sangha together?" So that was kind of the impetus. So anyway, it was wonderful.
Thanks, Amy, and that sounds really great. And there you are in rainy Seattle, out in the sunshine. What happened?
Yes, it's very bright right now.
Good morning.
Hello, it's
Hello.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Hi.
I don't know.
Hello.
I have a curiosity. Um, I was really turning today. That was really helpful to turn towards the pain.
Mm.
Um, and recognizing it of past patterns, and then realizing how that's happening again today, and like then being really annoyed by that.
You mean
And
like, damn, this same old trip and it's running again?
yeah, and it's not just in me; it's in my circle around me. I'm finding it. It's like, so. I guess the curiosity is like, when's that shift?
One moment at a time.
Moment.
I have a little quote here. I think I can find it. I came across this, I don't know, a decade or more ago. It's Emerson, Ralph Waldo. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. The great person is the one who in the midst of the crowd can hold with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. The great person is the one who in the midst of the crowd can hold with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. So, there's something I often talk about with individuals. It's from Murray Bowen, psychiatrist of 50 years ago or so, one of the creators of family systems therapy, that families and groups of friends, but the families in particular, have what he called the family emotional system. And it doesn't like anyone to change. And if you start to change, it will try to change you back. And so, we wake up and we become clear, this is a personal neurotic pattern. Oh, this is a pattern that's being reinforced by the people around me. And today I lost it into it. And today, this moment, I'm awake. I'm not in it. But it is one moment at a time. Is that helpful, Elizabeth?
Yeah, that feels like Johnny on the spot. There's an instinct then for me that says that then I need to eliminate those folks instead of being amongst them.
I didn't understand that. You need to eliminate.
The connections in my system, the people.
Oh.
As opposed to being amongst them in that solitude.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we do need to do that. I mean, one of the purposes for PIMC, actually, a conscious intention, was for people to be able to develop new friendships. And I worked at a place called Springbrook. It was a drug and alcohol treatment center west of Portland. It's now called Hazelden West, I think. And but anyway, people came in. It was mostly doctors, and they came in for a 90-day program. And one of the very commonly talked about issues, well, what will I do about my friendships? Because all my friends were my drinking buddies or my Coke buddies or whatever, and that's one of the things about the fellowship of AA over all these decades, that it's provided people with an alternate group of friends in order to support and stabilize the awakening self, the awakening process. But it's a very difficult thing, and it's one of the reasons, one of the purposes of this morning gathering, is to strengthen us to then go out and do where we get in all the various contexts we go into, and they will all pull us to be in certain ways, and to stand in our own autonomy in the midst of television is quite something. Because we fall into trance there so easily. Anything else you'd like to share, Elizabeth?
All of the above. Thank you.
There's also it's crucial to be merciful with oneself, because these family emotional systems, these systems like in intimate relations or in friendships, they pull us really hard. It's not a small thing.
Yeah, I've missed a couple days of work because of it. But I'm glad I, again, could be merciful and take the time.
Yeah.
And be here with the group. I do. Oh, wow. So I had an alarm set. Thank you.
And I come back into the family and I'm there for 20 minutes or something, and then the pulls, it's like, oh, be this way, be reactive to this. And sometimes I can say, well, actually, no, I'm not going to become reactive to that because I can see it so clearly. And other times one just falls into it. Ram Dass told a story about this a long time ago. He'd been in India for 6 months or more, and he came back and he was feeling very holy. And one of his practices is saying the word Ram, which is one of the names of God. And he was at a friend's house, and he was very blissed out, Blam Ram Ram Ram, and he got up to leave the meditation spot, and there was a sharp children's toy on the floor that he stepped on. And he went from Ram, Ram, Ram to, God damn it, what's this doing here? In a second. And he said, I guess it hasn't really taken root as deeply as I thought. Well, go ahead.
Can I email you for that poem or that Emerson quote?
Oh, yes, Robert@robertbeatty.com, and I will attempt to get it into actually, let me do it right now. I'll put it in the chat. I think I can find it really easily. Poetry. It's powerful, isn't it? That there's more to that. If you Google that, he says more about it in that writing. Here we go. Autonomy in the crowd. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in It is easy in solitude to live after your own. The great person, the awake person, is the one who in the midst of the crowd can hold with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. I like the in perfect sweetness because it isn't, I'm going to, screw you, I'm going to hold on to this. It's like, yes, this is true for me. There's Emerson in the chat. Well, I am going to turn into a pumpkin and leave you in Jim's big-hearted, capable hands. I've got to get to the center and be present for someone to come and measure blinds. So, lovely to be with you. And let me see here. Jim, can I leave meeting? Make Jim Dalton sign and leave. Adios. See you. Today's Friday, right? Yes. See you Sunday or Monday. Happy trails. All right. Goodbye, friends on Facebook and YouTube. I must part from you as well.